we're going to have the co-pastors, Beth and John Hall. You know them as the Micaville Presbyterian Church pastors, the Newdale Presbyterian Church pastors, and the Grassy Creek Presbyterian Church pastors. Please welcome to the stage Beth and John Hall.
Good afternoon. Beautiful crowd. We're glad to be with you. We were asked to sort of give a closing. I'll tell you, I wrote a speech that was just real mad and nasty, and Beth made me put it away. So this is a little more, let's think about where we're going now. Blessed are the peacemakers. Peacemakers are lauded in my faith and in almost every faith, as nearly as I can tell. All people who believe in common decency and regard for our fellow human beings agree peacemakers are good. But among some circles today, I'm afraid to say that peacemaking has grown out of favor. People who consider differing points of view and lifestyles or even the health of our environment are labeled woke and are ridiculed for being compassionate. You know, that's why I wear this shirt, because I hear people ridiculed for being compassionate, and I'll just say, well, here I am. Our current president and his minions consider empathy a sign of weakness. But the itinerant rabbi who defines my faith, the one who blessed the peacemakers, was anything but weak. As compassionate and empathetic people, we refuse to let others who look on the world with a cynical eye define us. We've got to define ourselves. Peacemakers are not passive people. Peacemaking does not mean that we are neutral. No, peacemakers are people who look honestly at the injustice of this world and refuse to look away. They refuse to turn a blind eye to cruelty and injustice. They embrace the outcast and the disadvantaged. They march into the temples of power and turn over the tables of the rich and the powerful. So I wear this t-shirt today because I refuse to let those who ridicule peacemakers have the final say. See, woke people do not attempt to overthrow elections. Woke people do not persecute their enemies. They do not see the exercise of ruthless power as strength. The woke people of Minnesota showed us the true measure of strength and courage. Occupied by this violent and intimidating force, they were not passive. They did not shrink away. They showed up. They documented. They brought food to the poor and the oppressed. They risked injury and even death because they were so woke. They chose to love their neighbors as they loved themselves. We're gathered here today because we are awake. We have witnessed the erosion of liberty in our country, and we refuse to let rich, powerful, and greedy men rob us of our birthright. That means we're not going to ever accept a king. We are here to fight for our children and our neighbors. We will not back down. Trump's propagandists are already intent on defining us. They will label us as naive and misguided or as paid protesters and agitators. How many of you have got a check from George Soros? He owes me some money. We just got to ignore those labels. They know their lies when they say it. I believe that Trump would be a king if a thing walks like a duck and quacks like a duck, then it's a duck. Or, as Maya Angelou has said, when a person tells you who they are, believe them the first time. Donald Trump has been telling us exactly who he is for a long time. And because of his ruthless nature, we have watched his support continue to shrink. But we can take nothing for granted. He will cling to power by any means. We must be prepared. We are fighting for the future of our country and our children. We must make our voices heard. Like those citizens of Minnesota, we must refuse to back down, even in the face of violent and lethal intimidation. We cannot afford to lose this day, this moment, this fight. What we do in gatherings like this all over the country will become a lasting legacy for our families. Let's make sure they remember us with grateful hearts.
Last Sunday, we closed our message with the call, "Church, come out." And today, we want to leave you with the call, "Citizens, come out." Those who love America, come out. Those who cherish freedom, come out. Last week, the Republicans in the rural county where I was born and raised did just that. They came out and by just 23 votes unseated the most powerful politician in the state of North Carolina. Phil Berger was defeated because the citizens of Rockingham County said they have had enough of his stranglehold on North Carolina. They were frustrated with his policies that harmed their schools and their health care system. They had grown disillusioned as industry after industry left the county, and they came out in strength. Now I realize I'm not speaking to a Republican crowd here today, but don't you imagine that included among those people who came out and voted to unseat Berger were people included like you and me, dissatisfied independents, and even crossover Democrats. But what I know is that each and every one of them made a difference, just as each one of us today will make a difference. If just 24 people had chosen not to vote, the change that is so badly needed in North Carolina would not happen. So we have work to do. In 220 days, we will have the opportunity to change the course of our nation. We must do everything in our power to protect our votes. We must do everything we can to get our message across to our neighbors. We must do everything we can do to get people to the polls. Last week, Rockingham County defeated a Goliath. America can do the same. Come out.